I have been a fan of Altenew's watercolour paints for a long time, and I've recently got the artist grade watercolour pan set. In today's video I'm creating two cards with both their artist grade pan set as well as their 36 watercolour pan set for two cards to look at them in comparison. I'm Verity and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. This is part of the Altenew Whimsical Wonder blog hop, so I will give more details about that hop in the video later on, but also check out my blog post. As I've already mentioned, I have the Altenew Watercolours 36 pan set. Here you can see it's very well used. I've got some leftover paint there. But I've also invested in the metallic watercolour pan set. Comes in a lovely tin with some mixing palettes either side with some gorgeous variation in metallics, so I can't wait to use them, and I do use them slightly later on in the video. What's great about this is it also shows you the colours on the back, gives you the names, but the names are also on the pans as well. And this is the artist watercolour pan set, so this is 24 coloured pans of watercolours to an artist grade level. It comes in a beautiful container. I love the Altenew florals on the front and the colour of the tin. Now, I've already started to open some of them, but I just wanted to show you how they come wrapped up. And they have a little wrapping on the top to protect the paint, and then you unpeel that and you have the pan set. Now what's great is when you do take the top off, you won't lose the name of the paint because it's already on the pan as well. It's on the side. And what I find with these ones compared to my other ones when I first opened them up is the paints are quite securely in those little pans. Initially when I had this set, the pans used to fall out until I'd really started to use them and the paint had melded to it. So it meant that when they did fall out, I couldn't remember which ones go in which colour. Because their name is on the bottom as well, you can't see them as easily. For these cards, I am using the Bouquet of Love stamp set from the Wonderful Whimsical release. It's a lovely big floral bouquet, and it's got that whimsical style to it because it's not quite like traditional for real life looking flowers, but it's got a whimsical nature to it. So I'm creating two slimline cards, and I've just positioned the floral onto the card panels, on each card panel in a slightly different position, and then I'm going to heat emboss it because I want to make my watercolouring really easy. Heat embossing is the perfect way to do that. You haven't got to worry about being really neat and keeping within the lines. If you're not a no-line watercolourist, I suggest you try heat embossing with your watercolouring. It will make your life so much easier. So once I've heat set that, I'm then ready to start colouring them in. And I'm going to do a side-by-side painting of the two so you can easily see them. I have the 36 pound set on the right hand side and the artist grade set on the left hand side, and I tried to stick to similar colours as much as possible. What I loved when I was using these is I could really tell the difference in sort of the vibrancy of the colours. The artist grade ones were more highly pigmented, which you would expect being artist grade, but you can still get beautiful colours with the 36 watercolour pan set. I also noticed that the paints from the artist grade were a little bit more creamy when you added the water to the pan. And they also tended to be a little bit less grainy. Not all of the colours in the 36 pan set were grainy. There's just a few of them that have a few more granules when you add the water to them and then paint with it. Other than that, I think both sets work beautifully. If you've got either a set in your craft stash, they work wonderfully well. If you're unsure as to which one you want to go for, if I was starting out, I'd still go for the 36 pan set because one, they're a little bit cheaper for you, you get more colours, and if you're not sure if you're really into watercolouring, they're a great set to start off. However, if you really do love painting, you love colour, and you want some vibrancy, then go for those artist grade sets. As I mentioned, this is part of a blog hop to celebrate Altenew's release of the Whimsical Wonderful stamps and dies. If you're watching this over on my YouTube channel, do check out my blog post where you'll be able to comment and hop along the blog for your chance to win. They are giving away a total of $300 in prizes. This includes a $100 gift certificate to one lucky winner, as well as 8 winners receiving a $25 gift card. Altenew will announce their winners over on their Altenew winners page on the 13th of April. I'm going to put some music on so you can just watch me watercolour. It is quite a long video, so if you do want to skip towards nearer the end and I explain how the cards came together, then by all means do. I also just quickly use the metallic set at the same time. If you are going to continue to watch this, you can alter the settings of the playback speed in YouTube. Just hover over the video, go to settings and playback speed. You can lower it down to as slow as possible so you can watch me paint along in more detail. I'll put some music on and enjoy the process. finish these cards off, I added a little bit of paint splatter in some of the colours used. I added a soft blue hue around the florals by just wetting the paper, dropping the blue colour in, and then allowing that to fade out into nothing. And as I said, then I added some paint splatters. In addition, I decided to get out the metallic watercolour paints and add a bit of gold and some blues just to really tie in with those colours. This just added a little bit of sparkle and shine. So these cards were then just added to a slimline card base, and then I added them into my MISTI because I wanted to stamp a couple of sentiments from the stamp set. Because I've done all this watercolouring, I didn't want to mess up the stamping of the sentiment, so of course my trusty MISTI came out to ensure that I got good placement, and if I stamped it and it wasn't the best stamping in the world, I could restamp it again and get perfect print. I've used a couple of sentiments from the stamp set, one reading "You have the most beautiful soul" and the other one sending you a bouquet of love. I really love how these cards came out, and let me know in the comments below, do you have either of these sets and what do you think of them? I'd love to know. If you're new to my channel, why not think about subscribing? You can hit that bell icon to be notified when my next video is up. Until next time, happy crafting!